Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you some of the lessons I learned from having a stroke at the age of 33, from before and during, and then the recovery. So don't forget to subscribe below if you'd like more videos on strokes and essential oils and princess dresses. I've got a wide variety hikes of different things that I do on my channel. So lesson number one that I learned was it's so important to listen to your body. I think often in today's day and age, we rely so heavily on the medical community and we put so much weight into what they say that we forget to listen to our bodies and to really tune in and be true to that. So if you watched part one, you'll know that I had a lot of symptoms leading up to my stroke that were actually signs that I was going to have a full-blown stroke. And after I had the stroke, my neurologist sat down with me and said he'd gone through my chart and he was surprised of the things that were happening. He said, all of those times you were losing your vision, you were having vertigo, those different types of things that were going on, he assumed that I was having a mini stroke. I had actually asked my primary care physician if that's what I was having were TIAs, and he assured me I was too young, I was being paranoid, you know, all of those different things. Lesson number one is listen to your body and become an advocate for yourself. I think that it's so often, like I said before, we rely heavily on the medical community, which I love because they saved my life. But I also think that we need to take a greater responsibility for our own health, for our own wellness, and for what's right for us. Okay, lesson number two is that hydration is so important, which I thought I was super hydrated. I was pretty sure that because I was an athlete and I tended to eat healthy that I was fine. After they gave me the clot buster and stuff, they discovered I was seriously dehydrated. And my neurologist said that that probably was a contributing factor to my stroke. Just remember, and the other thing is statistics show that most stroke patients have their stroke in the morning. If you're a stroke survivor, I would love to hear in the comments below what time you had your stroke. I have read that most strokes happen in the early morning because we have gone through the night sleeping, our bodies are dehydrated. One of the things that I like to do is wake up, and the first thing I do is take a big drink of water to really get my body hydrated. Lesson number three. Now this one, when my neurologist talked to me about this, I was like, what? So I asked my neurologist, what can I do to prevent a stroke in the future? Because I'm at a pretty high increased chance of having one, having factor V Leiden. I'm a double carrier, which means I'm at an 85% increased chance. I asked him, what can I do? And his advice was to stay in a healthy weight range, to not smoke, and to not be stressed out. So when he said that, I thought, there's no way, like, how do you live a life that's not stressed out? That's like crazy, especially because I had 4 young kids. And I think in today's society, we thrive on being busy. So I've had to really learn how to utilize specific tools and tricks to decrease my stress. And at the time I thought there's nothing I can do to decrease my stress. But since then I've learned breathing techniques. I have utilized lots of essential oils. I have a couple favorites that I use every single day to really just help my body feel grounded and peaceful and calm instead of living in this high stress world. Lesson number 4. The fourth thing I've learned from having a stroke is that experiences like this shift and change us, and we can never be the same person. So I remember feeling pretty strongly that I wish I could just go back to where I was or who I was and what I was, because everything shifts. And I think that that's one reason why a lot of people who have stroke struggle with depression and anxiety, because there's so many emotions attached to the fact that you've often lost control of part of your body. You are not able to articulate the way that you used to. Your brain is functioning differently. I mean, there's so many things that are associated with that brain injury. And for me specifically, I am a very social person, and I had huge issues with the social atmospheres after my stroke because of the processing and my balance and things like that. One of my friends who actually had a bleed stroke about a year after I did, he gave me some great advice that he got from a counselor. So this counselor had told him that it's important to allow yourself to mourn who you were. You actually have to grieve that. You have to allow yourself to grieve the fact that you're not going back to that person. And once I was able to really like comprehend that and process it, I then was able to begin to see the blessings. And I know that that sounds crazy when talking about a stroke, but I really feel like this stroke taught me so many lessons, and it brought positive things into my life with my family, with my kids, with situations, with people. And I feel very blessed. I never want to have another stroke. I'm not saying that, but it gave me the ability to really find the blessings in the process. Lesson number 5 is to be patient with yourself. And I know that that sounds cliche. When you're really trying to gain functionality back into some of your limbs, that it's easy to get frustrated and down and depressed. And I remember at about 2 years thinking, I'm never going to be okay again. And I had improved so much, but I just got really discouraged by the fact that I hadn't progressed to where I wanted to. And now I look back 7 years later, and one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video is to say there's hope, and you can get to a point where you're functioning normal again. For me, I was struggling to be able to function for more than 8 hours a day, and now I can stay up. In fact, when we went to Europe a couple months ago, I stayed up for 36 hours straight without going delirious. So that was really awesome. Our next lesson that I wanted to talk about was I learned that it's important to accept help. And this was something that I was not good at before. I was always like, I'm totally fine. Don't worry about me. We got this covered. And when I had my stroke, my husband, he insisted on allowing people to help us. And I was honestly mortified, and I felt very inadequate. And then when I came home from the hospital and we had 25 meals, and then things just kept coming, people kept bringing things to help. And in fact, one of my friends brought me, this was genius, a box full of lunch supplies. That was awesome for my kids. I learned from all of that help that the help wasn't just for me, it was for other people. When somebody we know, we love and we know is struggling, we want to do something. When we don't allow them the help, we're making them feel inadequate or less than. Allowing people to help us really gives us and them that opportunity to feel the blessings of service. My final lesson is this, that it's so important to celebrate those milestones, those things that you're able to do. Like when I was able to start coordinating my fingers again and just things like that. Those are like little moments that should be celebrated, and life is a gift that we've been given. And you know, I loved my life before. I feel like I was trying to live it to its fullest, but going through an experience where you could have died really shifted my mindset on that and my purpose and my mission on this planet and the legacy I wanted to leave. And so I've really learned to treasure every day, every night, to hug my kids goodnight and just let people know how much I love and appreciate them. Thank you so much for watching. If you are recovering from a stroke, please just know that it does get better. There's hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and it might take a number of years for you to really begin to see progress, but it comes and it gets to a point where you're like, I totally just rocked that. I'm super strong. Thank you everybody for watching the last 4 videos plus my husband's caregiver guide. I have felt so much love and support, and I'm just really grateful for everybody who's reached out. Thanks so much for watching. Please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe below, and I look forward to talking to you all soon. Bye.